Hi, welcome to my first designer diary video for more than a year. Now, the reason I stopped doing them was I simply ran out of time. I think I made the last video at the end of February last year, and after I finished work that day, I put the kind of computers in a box, screens in the box, cleared up all my desk. It went into kind of packing cases, and at the end of the week, it was into kind of removal lorries and where we were previously tenant farmers before, we were now we'd managed to buy our own croft farm, and so we moved to the croft farm. Then I had to put in like miles of fencing and move animals and all that kind of thing. Time just evaporated, and these designer videos can take kind of the best part of a day to make, and they were just one of the things that had to go by the wayside. There was just too much to do. But anyway, we're a year on and things have settled down, and I'm getting back into making them. When I last made a video, drive through looked like this. This was the DriveThruRPG that we're all familiar with, and it probably still had the preview, the redesign at the top here. Now, for us, they call this legacy now, and one of the things it does is, um, if I was to say click on this title, whatever it may be, at the top there, can you see that it says after the name, it says source equals hottest. And what that tells you, if I was to buy it in the marketing sources, this would say, tell the publisher that that book, someone clicks on the best-selling titles, which they call the hottest, and that's where the people clicked on that link to go to the product page to then buy it. And lots of things have a source. Basically, everything on the uh, on here has a source. That one would show up as hottest small press. Um, that one would show up as newest print. So you can kind of tell where people were clicking. It's not a perfect system. If you were to click on that and put it in your basket and then come back and click on something else, it would only show you the very last one. So this one would show up as the newest recent titles. So although I bought, say, Dragon Slayer role-playing game from the best-selling list, because I'd also then bought, say, Against the Dark Master from the newest, then it would show up as the newest title, which could be confusing if that's been around for months or years, whatever. So it's not a perfect system. What makes it even less perfect is if anyone goes here, they get redirected to this one, which is the new website called Phoenix, and those source codes immediately get stripped away and they get lost. And if you click on one of these, it has no source code, so any source code that was there gets stripped away, and that's lost. So if you're, as a independent publisher, if you're doing marketing and you're putting source links on things, there's a very good chance that it won't go through. You'll be flying blind as to what marketing's working and what isn't. There are other bits that are really important for us as indie publishers. This first navigation column was really, really important for us. Now, it starts out showing you the top 15 biggest or highest gross selling publishers out of everything. So, Catalyst Game Labs, Chaosium, Free League, there's loads of really big name publishers here, Wizard of the Coast, Mongoose. It's all big publishers of big name games. Uh, if I was to, I can also go to rule system. So if I went to Traveller, say, this has now adapted to show me the top 15 Traveller publishers. And if we were to look down here, we see there's a nice mix of different publishers here. So we've got Zoza, Robert Eaglestone, Mongoose, Dice Geek, Stellar Gamma. So you get a nice mix in there. Now, On the new one called Phoenix, we can still kind of do the same kind of thing, but rather than it being obvious right from the start that here's a set of filters, you've got these red buttons which don't tell you anything what to do. Now, if I click on rule system, I can still pick traveler. And now all those red buttons that I was just using are now gone, and they've gone. I've now got a different set of black and white buttons and blue buttons and things. And so here we go. I've refined Traveler, and although it doesn't say publisher, it does. Here they are. There's Zoza, Robert Eagleston, Mongoose, Dice Geeks, Telegram. So they're still there. Now, it doesn't tell me that I can do it, but if I was to look on the publishers, this is now adapted um, to show me publishers, but we don't really know what's going on here. One of the hottest, if I get rid of that a second, again, one of the top ranking ones here, the second one, well, the first one's Zoza Games, the second one is Robert Eagleston. If I go to publisher, uh, Zoza's not there. So they're the top ranking, they've got the top ranking title, you know, and you can't find them as a publisher. Robert Eagleston is also not there. So, whereas what we could do is we could focus on a category, put lots of titles into a category, um, and you would, you know, because the volume of your sales goes up, you could aim to become one of those top 15 publishers and get your name right there. So if someone sees that you've got a top ranked title and wanted to see more of them, they could have picked your name straight off the list and see all your titles. That's now broken. And yeah, there's no obvious logic to what's going on here. Most of these kind of things are these filters, as they're called, are rather unintuitive to use. And because you only know if there's a subcategory if the refine shows up, if there isn't a refine button. So that I can go down to, let's go to Traveler 4. Um, got no idea what Traveler 4 was, but I've lost. There's no refine button there. What other Traveler options have I got? Um, I play Traveler, Mongoose Traveler Second Edition. Under Traveler, I can't actually even find that. I don't know what it would come under because you know, yeah, I've got four options, none of which are the game I play. So maybe I'm just an idiot, but I cannot work there all the games I play. Uh, so the only way I could really do it, because I know that if I go to Mongoose, I can now find the you know Traveller second edition rule book. There it is. They've all got a look and feel, but I've immediately kind of eliminated all of the third party stuff that might be out there for the game. So uh, I struggle with their filters, and that's a big problem for us as publishers because I've got we often talk about long tail marketing. And the idea of long tail marketing is you've got so many products out there, you keep putting out new products, and those old products continue to sell. You know, obviously you get the most of the sales on the first week or in the first say, 24, 48 hours that it's released. That's when it's if I go back to the home page, um, it wouldn't be here. It would first of all, it would be in the newest since your last visit. So it might be there. If you pick up sales here, which is easiest to drive them by using your marketing email list, using your built-in DriveThruRPG list, um, You focus all of your attention onto release day, so you will be newest since your last visit. It's possible that you might temporarily hit the hottest small publishers. You might also hit the um, most popular under $5 temporarily. But if you do, that gets you more homepage space, and so that could give you more chance of earning more organic sales, and so you can kind of hopefully get a virtual circle going where you've focused all your marketing on those first days. That got you the homepage exposure, that gets you more organic sales, and that can then keep you in this, most popular under $5. If you've got a $5 product, um, that's how you're going to get into the best-selling titles, even if you're kind of way down here somewhere. You know, these aren't actually selling that many. Um, for example, let's go back up there. Treasure Lore, Rollmaster. I play a lot of Rollmaster. This book was added to the catalogue on the 7th of February this year, and it has sold less than 500 copies. So that is 5 weeks, under 100 copies a week, under 10 a day. That isn't a huge amount. It might have only just turned Electrum. I don't know. So it might be selling less than five a day. Of we can't tell with other people's titles quite how fast it's selling. But that is what is that? That's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. The ninth best-selling title is selling less than 10 a day. So these are achievable. I have had titles up here, and the price is really, really important. uh, it's the total dollar value that is going to get you up here. So that $25 for Treasure Law, they are going to have to, well, this one, the interface red, has got to sell 2.5 times as many just to equal Treasure Law. So or you the hedge is got to kind of outsell it 2 to 1 just to equal it. Obviously, it's selling much more because it's a new title, brand new title, and they've focused all of their marketing into the launch, and that is how they've got it straight into number one. So that's how we can kind of work these things. The problem is without those obvious list of publishers, even if you get up there into that top 15 publisher slot, you don't gain any more real estate. It's really cutting down our exposure. And when we release something new, people pick on it. They will often, if I was to go back to that Rollmaster title, it says customers also bought. And look, that's Rollmaster, that's Rollmaster. So there are a few Rollmaster titles there. Um, it used to have a box at the bottom saying, other titles by the publisher. That's gone, so that doesn't help us out at all. There, let's try. So this is Treasure Law. Let's try Spell Law. Spell Law was a better selling title. So that's platinum. It's older. It's a year old now. Uh, that's 20th of March, and I'm doing this on the 14th of March the following year. So it's had 50 weeks to earn at least 1,000 sales, 20 a week. Yeah, it's still not a huge selling title, but now what you've got is you know that's by Iron Crown, that's Iron Crown, that's Iron Crown. Not sure if that one is. No, it's not. That is. That's not. And that's not. But so now because they managed to get more sales, um, if you're buying spell law, you're almost certainly going to buying core law, and if you're buying the new roll master, you may well have bought some of their older systems, which and harp is it's still current, but it's been out for much longer. That's probably another platinum, if not. Oh, it's only silver. Oh, this is harp subterfuge. It's only silver, but the harp is the core system there. Yeah, that's the core system, and that's platinum. But that's what 10 years, 12 years old. So it's. But where I'm going with this is now because Iron Crown have got lots and lots of titles, they can get. If someone buys this, they could then also buy those. And this is the long tail. People that are buying the new book are also buying the old books. And so you get this big peak at the beginning of when something's new, and then it tails off, but it never goes away. Things continue to sell over time. Now, unfortunately, this is something else which is kind of vaguely broken on the new. I wonder if I can find that new one on. What it used to look like is. So where did I go? I went to Treasure Law, then to Iron Crown. So Iron Crown's own page used to look like this. So there's their hottest titles, they've got their categories of their different game systems, the newest titles, and then they're in kind of whatever the sort order is here. But you've got all of their titles. Um, on the new one, you just because they haven't uploaded a logo, which would have appeared here on the left-hand side, that would have been their logo. It gets this dirty, grey, ugly placeholder, and then there's their categories, and then you do get the bars, the scrollers or carousels, whatever. But it's all kind of vaguely ugly, and then you get this is taking up all real space. To get to the actual titles, what's that? That's one, two, three and a half screenfuls before you actually get to their listing of their main titles. So yeah, that's I'm really struggling with Phoenix. It's not helpful to indie publishers. What we've seen since this has happened is a massive drop off in long tail sales. Our mailing list still work, our drive-through mailing list still works, but the long tail sales that you would get, let's if I was to click through to what was it? It was Treasure Law. Underneath Treasure Law, where on their Treasure Law on Phoenix, there's what one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight customers also bought titles. So if you thought about that and thought, actually, I don't need that, but you're interested, something catches your eye over here, you got a choice of eight. On the original one, you got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, then more, and then more, and then more, and it keeps going on. Once you're here, you can, obviously there's more to read about it, but there are more titles. If I were to add that to my cart here, you also get customers also bought in there. If I add this to my cart, you get this, it's possibly the same list, but now is kind of massive compared to the previous one. Um, this kind of feels like, you know, that's what I'm working on. Here's my order. Here, um, these are kind of almost in your face, which I know. I normally I would say, yeah, great. So, well, that's Desert Race is the last one there. Is that Desert Race there? No, it's a different list. Um, in fact, it's a completely different list. That doesn't appear in there at all. Um, so the relevance of this is dubious. There are two other titles by the three, four, five. Five of them are by the same publisher. So, which you would want if someone's bought one of your things or looking to buy one of your things, you would want them to look at more of your stuff. But most of them are actually for competing products. And well, we've got Spell Law. We've got two different versions of Spell Law in here. Um, two different core laws. So again, this is why we're seeing a trailing off of long tail sales is because the support network isn't there. In the original one, how much of this is actually Iron Crown? So we've got one, two, three, four, five. So it's slightly bigger proportion, I think. But yeah, it's not. It's still not brilliant. It never was brilliant, but it was better. So the the new site is actually really hurting the small independent publishers, um, to the point where I think that I used to say that you could actually make a living off of a long tail sales strategy. You keep putting out products on a regular whatever cycle you can manage. It could be one a week, it could be one a month, it could be one every 3 months. As long as you kept putting out new things, every new thing would um, generate sales of your older things. So the greater your product range, the longer your long tail becomes, and you could make a living from it. Now, I don't actually think that's possible um, for a new publisher. I think you can earn a side income, but I don't think the way Phoenix is behaving at the moment, I do not think you will be able to build up a sufficient long tail that's getting sales to replace a main income. The solution is to rather than thinking of drive through as your primary destination, instead Kickstarter becomes your primary destination. You kickstart everything. You could do it with a goal of sort of like $10 or something, or $25, and have a $1 tier for people that you just want to support it. You know, whatever say a $4 tier for the PDF, a $10 tier for the print on demand, and you push everything towards Kickstarter. They've got the organic footfall. They've got a different audience, which is widening your audience. You can, in your surveys at the end, you can ask, would it be, would you mind if we, emailed you again? So you can add people to your mailing list. You can do all that and then fulfill it using DriveThruRPG as for the emails, and you send out a discount link for them to buy it, and you use say drive-throughs print on demand, and then you can send out complimentary copies uh, through drive-through. So they become the fulfillment partner. They become they're there for your long-term sales, but you use Kickstarter as your primary storefront, and then go from there. You can also have your own store. I've got my own store. What if you are non-exclusive or long tail? You can get invited to do other things. In the year I took off and I didn't do these videos, I was invited to do a humble bundle. Now this ran November to December last year, and I sold 5,531 bundles through the Humble Bundle website. And I couldn't have done that if I was an exclusive publisher because this isn't my website. Um, if I go to PPM Games on my own website, I have got my solo rule store and I can sell through there as well. Anyone can do that. If you're exclusive or not, you can sell through your own store. But things like Humble Bundle and I've had things sold through Bundle of Holding. I've had sales through there. Yeah, a Bundle of Holding is worth a good few $1,000s, and I've had it. I've been featured in two bundles, so I've done what 6 or 7 Kickstarters now, and a backer kit of crowdfunding and a Indiegogo crowdfunding. They have not hobbled the website the way that Phoenix is hobbling the small independent publishers. So I seriously recommend now um, of using Kickstarter as the start of your funnel, if you like, and then you can use it for building your list. You can use it to get organic traffic. You can use it for paying less commission. They take less than the 35% or 30% that DriveThru takes. It can give you almost everything. It can give you reputation as well as people see the number of projects you run. You can do all of that kind of thing. And funny enough, as you do build your long tail, you can actually still build up a drive-through RPG email list as well. So you can use that to promote your Kickstarter. And then all the products go on to drive-through for the long-term sales, long tail. So that's what I'm thinking you kind of have to do now. Now, one of the things I produced in, so where is it? I wrote this book. Originally, I did it at the end of 2023. I updated it for 2024. And what I used to say was, actually, I think it may be in here. Um, no, well, I used to say that, yeah, you could make a living, writing for RPGs, just off drive-through. And then I said, that it's going to become a okay, yeah, actually, that's it there. The chance of you making a living while writing for RPGs are slim to non-existent. That was 2024. In 2023, I said that you could do it, and we could, we can, make a living that way. So for this one, this book, silver bestseller. That's something else I don't like about Phoenix. I find their bestsellers. They used to be like this. Can you see the round badge there? They used to stand out. They've gone to these shields, and they're a bit too subtle. They're easily lost. Um, so they're currently in that book's currently in a bundle, and the mix here, it's actually showing you none of my other products, which is really disappointing. And there's no people bought this. If I add that to my cart, let's see what happens. Um, yep. Okay. So we do get one, two, three, um, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of my titles in there, which is better than what Iron Crown were getting, but it's still. I've got hundreds of titles. It's a real pity that it's showing competing products rather than more of my own. So yeah, overall, not impressed with Phoenix. It is still buggy as hell. There's lots of stuff that doesn't work, and yeah, it's been quite damaging to the small independent publishers. If you are already publishing and you've seen a big tail off since maybe October when they really started to push people towards this site more, then chances are the problem is Phoenix rather than anything you're doing. Um, and the takeaway from this video is probably look to one of the crowdfunding sites. I would probably recommend Kickstarter first, but GameFound, Backer Kit. I wouldn't recommend Indiegogo. Uh, but yeah, I would seriously look at making the front of your selling life site to be a crowdfunding site rather than going straight to drive-through. Okay, so that's it. That's quite a negative video this time. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I will try and pick these uh, diaries up more often now. Okay, thank you for watching.